don't know why it's always muted when I start.
Well,
Okay.
that's the default. I unmuted you. I've got that power to
Ooh,
unmute
I
you.
got the power.
And we're already recording. So
Okay.
I got that. And I'm going to put that on an infinite loop.
Oh, oh, show.
Oh, show.
If I'm crunching, it's because I'm eating candy canes.
Eating candy
I
canes.
Oh, dude, I have been raiding the adult children's stockings for like a month. Like a month ago, I
you
bought the
you fill
best
them
candy
up and then
canes.
you empty them and then you fill them
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I'm like, hey, Robbie, you want to try the new candy canes? He's like, no, those are the kids. And I'm like, whatever. Yeah, for real. And then I'm like, oh God, you got to try this. And then he'll be like, hey, you want to try another one?
I just got me some. Can you see them? Nope.
Junior Mint
Candy canes.
Peppermint Crunch. Oh my,
Yeah.
I see. I need to know how those are.
I need to know how those are.
Mm-hmm. I do.
You got your drink?
Robbie! Roberto. That's his
Yeah.
yelling name. Roberto. I've had a
Roberto.
drink. I don't know if you can tell or not.
No,
Roberto, I
not
don't
at
have
all.
my drink. Hey, I got
Snap,
off work early
snap.
today. I started early. I'm Lynelle, and he's my brother from another mother.
I'm Rob, and she's my sister from the same mister.
Welcome to episode 3.
Hi, Lynelle.
Hey, Rob.
I think I've got to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
I
What?
don't think you know this yet, but I think it's
Okay.
very important that you know this. It's going to be
I'm
Christmas in 4 days.
Woohoo!
That
Yay. And to me,
means,
yeah,
go
what does
ahead.
that mean?
That means we get to hang out in 3 days.
That's right.
I mean,
And
we're
all I
hanging out
hear is
now, but
3 days of cooking
3 days of cooking.
to prepare for it as you take another sip.
As I take another sip, you've
I
had
still don't
few,
have my drink yet. I've been hinting. I swear you can't get good help.
even when you marry them.
I know. Like, damn it. Well, in fairness, I did tell him, now don't be interrupting my podcast. Don't be turning down the TV trying to listen. Go listen to it online. We need listeners.
We need the downloads. People, we need the download. If you
Yeah,
like the episode, download it from a different computer so we get those numbers up.
exactly.
We have to
Mama
get
need to be
we have to
famous.
be at 1,000 downloads before we can sign up for the ads where we can run ads in our podcast. Because
How long's
when you've
that
only
going to
got
take?
like 16 downloads, they're like, we ain't paying you damn money to say a few
Well,
words.
right. But they're good words.
Everybody likes them. They use them
Yeah.
too. So why don't you
So,
tell everybody what we're going to do today?
what we're going to do today? Oh, we are going to review an album, right?
An album, that's right.
Not
And
just any album.
not just any album. The album that the
And
world has long been anticipating.
yes, Cher's Christmas album.
And it's unsurprisingly, it's called Cher Christmas.
Cher.
That's
Cher
the
Christmas.
that's the whole name of the album. It's
Yes.
Christmas by
Yeah,
Cher.
Christmas. Right.
So I had no idea, none at all, that Cher was releasing a Christmas album. You mentioned it to me a week or so ago as
Yeah.
that'd be a cool thing to review the album. And my first thought was, who asked for this?
Mm-hmm.
Were her fans clamoring? Were they were they all up in her ass? We need a Christmas album in 2023. I
Right.
I mean,
And then we're going to start a world tour.
and then we're going to start a world tour to support a Christmas album. Well into July, we're singing all these Christmas songs. So I guess you could say that about anybody who releases a Christmas album. Who the hell wanted that? I don't know. Maybe in the 40s and 50s when Bing and Dean and Frank and all of them were doing Christmas stuff. Maybe back then it was like, yeah, we really need this. But people have done Christmas albums and they've been good Christmas albums, but nobody has asked for it.
When you're Cher, does anybody really have to ask for anything? You
Does
say, I'm
does
putting out
anybody
a
get
Christmas
to
album,
ask?
bitches.
Does anybody get to ask Cher anything, or do they just take what she gives them?
That's exactly it. Yes.
But that said, I listened to the album. Tell me what you think first.
So on my first review of it, because I was more excited, like, oh, she's got like a new
She's
song,
still
like some
alive.
new original songs. Well, I knew that because I keep up with things, Rob. But I was like, okay, she's going to do this, same songs that everybody does. I didn't know that there were going to be some original songs
So
on
which
there.
ones are, well, we'll get into that. I meant to
Yeah.
look up which ones were original. There were some obvious ones that weren't original, but I wasn't sure about which ones were. But we'll get into that.
And
But
being myself, being more rocker chick, I love the rock Christmas songs. Those are well, I don't like the country twang or the religious slow
oh no,
drum crap.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I like that upbeat, rock and roll sound of Christmas. But and anytime, dude, somebody says, DJ, play that song, I'm on the floor. I mean, I cannot. Everybody's got a DJ play that song. Ludacris, Madonna. Everybody wants to get the DJ playing so they can get on the floor.
It's a little
And
played out. I'm sorry. You go
never
ahead.
played out. I'm just saying, I was super excited for this album, and it really did not disappoint. It's not over the top. It's nothing different. I mean, I love the Cher sound and vibe, and I give it a 10 out of 10.
I listened to it with a lot more trepidation than you did. I wasn't expecting
Yeah, I
a
know.
lot out of it. I thought, you said you wanted to review it, so I thought, well, I should listen to it before I talk shit. What the hell are you doing?
He just saw that motion, was like, what are you doing? I was given the give me a drink signal.
It looked like you were giving a completely different signal from that.
Yeah, I know that now.
Let's just say it looked like you were using your shake weight.
Sorry about that.
Anywho. So when I listened to it, I didn't go in with great expectations. And the very first song, that's that DJ play that song. The very first song really didn't set with me well because it's got a heavy use of auto-tune. It's using that auto-tune in a way that, they purposefully over-tune the auto-tune so that you get that warbly sound out of the singer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining that well. And I'm just not a big fan of that. I know it's become more and more popular in the pop music scene because I think the record executives are like, well, let's make everybody sound that way so they won't know which of our singers are truly trash. So I thought,
Well,
I
in my opinion,
go ahead.
I'm a Cher girl, and I have the Believe album, and that thing is auto-tuned as hell.
Well,
I don't know if you've ever listened to it all. So I thought this was not as bad. I really didn't. I know it is, but I thought it sounded really genuinely like her.
Yeah, that was just the first song. It was used on purpose. It wasn't some. It wasn't somebody overdoing it because Cher can't sing. Because that's the one thing that I got out of the rest of the songs was that.
Okay, I'm just staring in the mirror. I'm at the vanity, and I just was staring at myself in the
mirror. When it comes to you, vanity is a great name for that piece of furniture.
Can you see this? Please continue. I'm sorry.
I know you're worried about how you look on this audio podcast.
Right.
Got to make sure your hair is perfect. Oh, you finally got your drink.
I finally got the drink. Her birthday came through.
Okay, so anyway, the point I was trying to make is that the first song kind of turned me off because of that overuse of the auto-tune. I know it was done on purpose, and really Cher was the first one with that song Believe. She is, to my knowledge, she was the first one to release a song that intentionally had that auto-tune turned up to 11 so that it made that sound on purpose. And
Okay.
it popularized it, and it's grown in acceptance to now you can't hear a modern pop song that doesn't have that. So, I can give her a pass on using that because she was one of the first ones. She was a pioneer in using it as a tool itself.
Right.
And then the rest of the songs come on, and there's a few of them where that shows up again, but a lot of the songs don't have it or aren't noticeably having the auto tune. And God damn, she's still got that same powerful voice.
She really does.
And
thank you for saying that.
I'm not super Cher fan like you are. I mean, as a kid, we grew up watching the Sonny and Cher show.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know if you saw that or not. Do you remember that?
Yes.
The Tony Orlando and Dawn. I mean, that was that. I don't remember which night it was, but that was a solid hour and a half of just top-notch entertainment.
I know.
So I've always thought, I mean, Cher sings as an alto, I think, which is the female equivalent to a bass singer.
Right.
I think. I don't know that much about the singing voices, but she's always just had that powerful voice, and she's still got it. Which, how old do you think Cher is?
78.
Okay, you looked it up too, like I did. Yes.
No, I follow
you're
her.
a fan. Yes, you're a fan. Okay.
I'm a fan.
So she's 19 years older than me. She's just got a powerful voice. And if she has a little trouble controlling a note here and there and they have to use autotune to get it right, man, she deserves it. I imagine her bladder's the same way. Still as powerful as ever, just maybe a little hard to control sometimes.
Right. I mean, and her boyfriend is like 40 years old or something. I mean, he's young. He might be in his 30s.
When you got the talent and probably a little bit of money, you can do that.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Same.
So anyway,
I don't know what they have in common. But...
Well, he's 30. Do they really need to have anything in common? He just needs to put hard on command.
Right. And get bragging rights for being with Cher.
and buy the weekly supply of lube.
A lot of it.
A lot of
I'd say for that age.
I mean, and again, who can, she's old. She's going to need some help here.
Right.
So your overall impression, you really like the album.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't disagree. I can't say that I loved the album, but I certainly didn't hate any of it. There were, and we'll get into the individual songs a little bit here in a minute, but my overall impression is that you'd have to really be a Cher hater to make any real disparaging. If you're a Cher lover, you're going to just go buy the album. Don't even bother listening to it. Just buy the album and give her a few bucks. She probably needs it. If you're a Cher hater, I don't care to hear from you because you're just going to make up shit anyway. But if you're somebody who's just, you don't hate Cher, you're not a big fan of Cher like I am, I think if you listen to the album, and you might find a few songs that are like, but overall, I think it's a solid album. I listened to it from beginning to end on my way into work yesterday and then my way back home to finish the rest of it. I don't think I would do that again because that's too much Cher. Well, all at once.
I'm glad you really are giving it a good review because I'll have it on repeat. I'll ask Alexa at our Christmas gathering to repeat it.
Did I tell you I have to work that day? Yeah. I'm still sick.
But for real, I did add it to the playlist.
No, that's what I was going to say. I don't think I would listen to it from beginning to end again because, most Christmas albums, I'm not going to do that anyway, unless it's Bing Crosby. Maybe I'll listen to Bing Crosby beginning to end. But I have no problem with, I've got that Christmas song list that I make that I listen to this time of year. I've got no problem with a song or two creeping in there throughout the rotation.
Yeah.
So I think overall we both pretty much like it, and everybody else should too.
That's right.
Now let's talk about let's talk about individual songs. Do you have a favorite song? Do you feel like all of them are so solid you can't pick a favorite?
I love all her originals. They're better than I thought they would be.
So which ones are the originals?
That's the Angels in the Snow,
I like that song.
and of course DJ played me a Christmas song,
Right.
and I know the one with Tyga, the sleigh drop
Drop
top
Top
sleigh,
Sleigh.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that, and I think these are all original. Now, if I could be wrong on that last one, but I think they
I'm not
all three of them.
I'm not sure. I tried to look them up on YouTube to see if anybody else was doing them, and I just didn't have time. I've been so busy at work, I didn't get a chance to really look into it. But you said
I
Angels in the
thought her
Snow.
with
Angels in the Snow was her with Cyndi Lauper, right? Or was that I Like
no.
Christmas? I Like Christmas was with which one was with Cyndi Lauper?
I was going to say I did like that duet, but I can't remember which one it was.
I think it was either Angels in the Snow or I Like Christmas. I had marked those as the two standouts for me. Those are the two that are of all the songs on the album, those two are my favorite. Angels in the Snow and I Like Christmas. But
Yeah,
I
I like
liked
I liked the one with her and Michael Bublé. Bublé?
see now that one I have marked. I thought that was a good duet. I
Home.
just didn't feel like it wasn't in place on a Christmas album because that song Home is one
Yeah,
that Michael had done before that had nothing to
he
do with
has.
Christmas. It was about the
Right.
whole idea of being on the road as a performer. And so the only thing they changed to make it fit on this Christmas album is the first line that originally was Another Summer Day, Cher sings Another Christmas Day. And that's the only
Hmm.
change. Other than that, it's the exact same song, and they did a fine job on the song together. But it just, to me, it just stood out as not really fitting in with the rest of the album. I was really impressed with the way she did Run, Run, Rudolph,
Hmm.
and she did What Christmas Means to Me as a duet with Stevie Wonder. And
Oh
I'm
gosh,
wondering
yeah.
if they actually did it together, or if she just picked up
But see, I
the
thought that
sound
too.
engineer. Yeah, I'm just wondering if
That's what I think.
because he sounded so much like what he does
The
in the
original
song
or his
originally.
exactly.
Um,
I was listening to my playlist tonight, Christmas playlist, and I have his song, and then I played her whole album, and I picked
right.
up on that immediately. I was like,
Sounds so
wait a
much
minute,
like
that's
it.
the that's the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like it was.
And then Put a Little Holiday in Your Heart. Those three, Run Run Rudolph, What Christmas Means to Me, and Put a Little Holiday in Your Heart, were standouts as far as the her redoing songs.
Yeah. Uh huh.
But my favorites, like I said, my favorites were Angel in the Snow and I Like Christmas. Drop
Yeah.
Top Sleigh was a fine song, but I gotta admit, Shake That Thing Like a Snow Globe,
Yeah.
really? I'm sorry. that seems a little inappropriate for a Christmas song.
She
And
didn't
I
say
gotta
it was a children's album.
I get that, but have some decorum. And there was one song that I'm just an absolute no on. See if you can think of which one I'm talking about. Probably not, because I
The
don't think
one with
we've ever
Cyndi
talked about.
Lauper.
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
I like Cyndi Lauper in general anyway.
I do
Not
too.
a big fan,
Okay.
but I like a lot of her songs. No, the one that I was an absolute no on was Santa Baby.
Yes, I would
That
agree.
that was just too much panting and moaning in that song. And I'm
Uh huh.
sorry, Cher, I know you're 78. I don't want to hear you panting and moaning about Santa Baby. Now, that said, I'll give her the credit of her version is still better than Madonna's version, which I absolutely will not listen to Madonna's version. I cannot stand her version of Santa Baby.
Do you
It,
like Cyndi Lauper's version?
Cyndi Lauper. Did she do
Hmm.
Santa Baby? I've always assumed it was Madonna. Maybe it was Cyndi Lauper's version I hate because which one of them is
Maybe.
uh, the one I hate is the one where it sounds like an overly childish, a a,
Yeah,
a, a
that's it.
girl's childish voice trying to be super sexy, but it's just creepy and ugh. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
Cyndi
it.
Lauper. I'm sorry, Cindy, but I hate your version of Santa Baby. I mean, the standard was set by Eartha Kitt, and she's really the only one who does that song justice, in my opinion.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
It's a great version.
I considered writing a parody song, not really a parody song, but the same song from the guy's point of view, but it would be Santa Buddy instead of Santa Baby.
Uh-huh.
Santa
Cool.
Buddy, I really could use a truck, something along those lines.
Right.
But then I thought it would
Because
actually
I'm
be
stuck.
funnier. It would actually be funnier for the guy to be singing Santa Baby, trim my tree with Tiffany and whatever the fuck. I don't know what's funnier, doing it from a guy's perspective and guying it up a lot, or doing it from the guy's perspective, but exactly as the girl would sing it. It may be kind of
Or
breathy and sexy.
I like the idea of the buddy, I'm stuck, or like, hey, bring me a truck. Whatever. I think that would be good.
I'll work on that then.
You work on it. I want to hear it.
So, what other thoughts do you have about the album?
Everybody should buy it.
Everybody
No,
should buy it.
yeah. I just thought it was really good. It did not disappoint.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I
It
am.
was better than I expected it to be.
I'm going to tell
And
you, I'm not looking forward to the next album that we've already talked about. It's going to take me a lot to get through those songs.
okay. Have you listened to any of them yet? Don't mention the
No,
name. Don't mention the
I
album.
won't.
Okay.
I
I
won't.
haven't either. I've heard even from some of that artist's supporters that like it's a bit
Really.
cringy. But I've heard other people say, no, it's fine. She's a goddamn
Ah,
national treasure. you don't
right, right.
so we'll leave that up in the air and we'll let the audience wait for that.
Okay. That sounds good.
Do you have any like absolute favorite Christmas songs, or are you like me? There's so many that you like, but they have to be a certain style. I know you said you don't really like the overly country twangy ones, and
Yeah.
a lot of the new jazzy kind of stuff isn't that great.
Well, I like anything that's fun and you could kind of do a jig to it, a dance,
Do a jig
whatever.
to it.
But
I don't think
also
I've
like,
ever seen you do a jig.
remind me at the Christmas
Oh,
gathering.
absolutely. And I am going to get me or somebody to record it, and we'll try to add it as some
Okay.
media on our podcast. But we will get
That's a
audience. You may get to see a Lynelle jig.
yay.
Okay. So anyway, we were talking about favorite songs. Do you have any like Christmas songs that stand out as your favorite?
I do like some of the more traditional. Now, I'm going to tell you, every Christmas morning, and Sarah can vouch for it, either joyfully or that she hated it. It was Elvis's Blue Christmas album. So
The whole album, not
I
just the
love,
song.
right.
Okay.
But of course, I love Blue Christmas.
Right.
I love Holy Night because that was my mother's favorite.
Okay.
And I like Stevie Nicks' version of it. It's pretty good. So I've got that on the playlist.
I'm sure I've heard it. I'd have to listen to it again, but I mean,
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks is like Cher. It's going to really be hard to
Oh, yeah.
say anything really bad about her. She's another one of those with a very powerful voice, even at her advanced age.
But I love David Bowie and Bing Crosby,
That's a
Little
good
Drummer Boy.
song. That's a good song. I like that song.
And it's on my list.
I hate hearing that Bing Crosby absolutely hated
I
doing that
know.
song with David Bowie. He just couldn't. I mean, that was 70s David Bowie when he was kind of androgynous and had that, just that style that Bing would never have been able to get. He
Right.
if he had
And they
been
sounded
Bing's kid,
great
he would have
together.
had that androgyny beaten out of him
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Bing wasn't above raising the belt.
For sure.
But I'm kind of the same way. I don't really have a single favorite song, but most of the ones that Bing sings, do you hear what I hear? I only want to
Hmm.
hear Bing Crosby singing that song because of the line
Right.
in it
That's
with a
good.
voice as big as the sea. And if you're going to sing the song with a voice as big as the sea, you better have a voice that can handle being as big as the sea. That's
Exactly.
that's just how I feel about it. I hate hearing some tenor or whatever singing that song with a voice as big as no,
Yeah.
it just
It's
doesn't work.
like belt that shit out.
Yeah, you got to bring it up from your balls, man or
Uh-huh.
woman. I don't care. And I love Bing's version of "It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas."
Yeah.
And Michael
Definitely.
Bublé does a version that is
Uh-huh.
almost note for note exactly like Bing's. I mean,
Oh yeah, I love the
it's.
whole Michael Bublé album, Christmas album. I have that. Have you ever listened to Rod Stewart's Christmas album? He's with the big band. It's
I
pretty good.
don't. I don't think I've heard the whole Rod Christmas album, but if there was one song that I would say is probably my favorite Christmas song, if I could say one song was my favorite, him and Dolly Parton doing "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Yes,
That to
that is
me
good.
is the ultimate version. I've heard the ones that were done, by the masters back in the 50s and the 60s, and they just don't have. Rod and Dolly just sell the sensuous
Hmm.
and eroticism of that song.
Yeah,
They don't make it
it's a good
sound
duet.
date rapey or anything. They make it
Right,
sound like, a man who wants the woman to stay and the woman wants to stay, really
but
wants to stay, but is worried about her reputation, which is how the song was written. My favorite part of the whole song is right at the end when Rod's like, "Come on, baby," and Dolly goes, "Come on, what?" I love that part of the song. It's just
it's so
that's
cute.
yeah. So that's I can't really say that's my favorite Christmas song, but I get I perk up when that song comes on. When I hear that dun 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 dun, and
Yeah,
it's that
yeah,
slow, sensual, not that do 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 do, because that
yeah.
song needs to be slow and sensual. You need to really
Yes,
feel they're not just sitting by the fire. They're laying down on a bearskin rug,
right.
probably
The glass of
mostly naked.
wine, some drink on the rocks.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I envision it. I mean, that song really that's not even that doesn't even have to be a Christmas song. That song could be played anytime during the winter months, especially
Yeah.
like in February when it just gets brutal. I like some of Frank Sinatra's Christmas songs.
Hmm.
He does a good version of Jingle Bells. I like that. I love those
Yeah. I
Jingle
love that
bells.
version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, and there's another version. I don't remember who does it, but there's another version that has all three of the verses in it. The one about the last verse is about the one about taking a ride with his girl in the horse-drawn carriage,
Hmm.
and the horse gets spooked or something, and then they got upside. I don't like a lot of the instrumental Christmas songs unless it's like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
do they do like heavy metal Christmas.
Yeah. I love that.
That's
Yeah.
cool, but I don't like Guy Lombardi's Christmas stuff where nobody says a word throughout the whole thing. You're just listening to notes. So I want to hear some
Hmm.
singing. I want to hear some people who
Yeah.
are, rocking around the Christmas tree and
Yeah. Exactly.
like Brenda Lee. She was
Hmm.
13 when she recorded that song.
Yes. 13.
That's amazing. She had such
And
a great
it just
voice.
went #1 this year
She
for the
did it.
first time ever.
She's done another version of it now that she's in her, I think, 70s. She's done
Yeah.
another version of it that sounds pretty good. It's not
But
like the original, but
it beat out Mariah Carey this year on the top Billboard. It went to 1 and put
yeah,
Mariah #2.
good. That bitch deserves some comeuppance. I'm not a big fan of the Mariah Carey Christmas songs. I mean,
I just like the one. I think it's great.
all
All
I
I
want
want
for
for Christmas.
Christmas is
Hmm.
you. Yeah, it's all right. And it's probably not even that I don't like the song, but it gets played the hell out of. But it's Christmas time. All of the Christmas songs get played the hell out of. So I guess it's hard to pinpoint one song that's a culprit there.
Yeah,
It's the fault of the radio stations that go to all Christmas music all day long, starting somewhere in the first week of November, and you just
it's
get
like
burnt out on
God.
Christmas songs. I won't even listen to them until after Thanksgiving. That's when I'll start
Hmm.
listening to some Christmas songs, but not all day. I mean,
No,
I got to listen to something else now and then.
yeah.
But what's your shirt say?
Happy Elfin Holiday.
Happy Elfin Holiday. Had a friend
I've
who
been in the.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
You
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you go
No,
ahead. Yeah.
thank you. You have a
had,
friend what?
I had a friend who used to always yell out for New Year's, "Happy Nuck and Foo Year."
Oh yeah.
He was clever.
Oh, very. I'm
That's
having gin and tonic.
okay. We're having bourbon and mixer water,
Hmm.
whatever mixer water we happen
Yeah,
to have on.
cool.
It's Enos doesn't have to work tomorrow, so it's bourbon night.
Me neither. Yay.
Yay. I've got to work tomorrow. They're talking about wanting some of the people working Saturday, and I'm like, nope.
Not
Because
me.
they won't have anything for me to do Saturday. I would just be standing there going, can I help you with something? And I don't care if they're paying me. I'd rather be home than there. You know,
Oh, yeah.
if I'm going to be standing around looking useless, I'd rather do that at home.
Yeah.
But they're also talking about we're supposed to have Tuesday off as a holiday. So they're talking about maybe working Tuesday. And I'm like, okay, by then they might reasonably have some systems ready to go that I can ship out. So I'll work Tuesday, but I'm not working Saturday. And I sure am not working Saturday and Tuesday. I mean, all that about work might get edited out. I don't know. But anyway,
Uh-huh.
maybe I'll leave it in. Who knows?
Maybe.
It'll just depend on my whims at the time.
Well, we only talked about reviewing the Christmas album. I don't know
Yeah,
what
we
else
didn't.
we should have. Did you have
Yeah,
anything on the whiteboard?
no, I have been so busy that the time when I can normally work on this stuff is at work because I don't have a lot to do most
Well,
days.
maybe we can talk about after the holiday break. Will be new in 2024, or
Yeah, and I mean over the next week or so, if we get a wild hair, maybe we can come back on and talk about something, and I can splice it into this episode.
okay.
You were supposed to get
Yeah,
Robbie to look up some
I know. I was hoping you wouldn't mention that because I did totally forget. He had to go do his Christmas shopping for me tonight. Now, what day is it?
oh, I well, Enos and I haven't really done any shopping for each other. We've done shopping for ourselves and then bought the stuff
Uh
ourselves
huh.
and then handed it to each other and said, "Here, give this to me on Christmas Day." So, because I'm terrible at buying gifts. I
Yeah.
just it's too much stress for me and I just don't want to do it. So I tell Enos, I mean, she and I buy whatever we want or need all through the
Uh
year
huh.
anyway. So
All through the year. Me too.
we never have anything left over that, oh, that'd be a great gift for her. Oh no, she's already bought three. So
Yeah.
so I just, last year I tried saying starting in August, if you see something, you don't get to buy it, you have to tell me and I'll do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that just didn't work out that well. So this year I just
Uh,
said, you see something you want, you can buy it, but I get it. And I hold on
mm-hmm.
to it until Christmas. So
Okay.
that's what we're doing. And I don't do cards anymore. I got out of
Yeah, I
the
don't
whole
either.
habit of doing cards, and I'm so glad I did because I'm not getting many cards anymore, and that's even
Right.
fine with me. Save a tree because I'm just throwing that shit away after I've read it. I
Yeah,
won't hold on
I
to that
do
stuff.
enjoy getting the family cards where they like their card is a family portrait. I do enjoy those because then I get a picture.
Yeah,
So I got a few people that send those, but no, I think I got two this year so far.
man, it is coming up quick. I can't
Yeah.
imagine. I can only imagine that people with young kids find it even more daunting.
Oh
Holy
God, yeah.
shit, we've only got 4 days left. And I just want to
I
smack
can remember those
people a bit.
days.
I just want to smack people who are like, oh, well, I got all my Christmas shopping done in August. It's like, well, how do
You're
you
like,
know they're not going to just go and buy the shit for themselves anyway between now
yeah, you overachiever.
and you overachiever? Especially when it turns out all they're doing is giving gift cards to everybody.
Yeah,
I got my Christmas
that's a
shopping done at Kroger.
it's over
It
with.
got 4 times the points while doing
Got free gas.
I remember one year Enos was like, well, if you need an idea for me, just give me a gift certificate to Amazon. And I'm like, you've already got a gift certificate to Amazon. It's called our credit card.
Right? So what's the difference? I can
Oh,
remember Sarah used to count the presents under the tree. That's how she, and I fucked up one year. I'm just going to tell you. It's like, parenting is hard. It's hard. Christmas is like tenfold. I mean, it's horrible. And I can remember, like her running out I was like, every time I'd get a gift, I'd go ahead and wrap it and stick it under the tree. Well,
right.
she was keeping count. And Christmas morning, she got up, she counted them again. And she said, where's Santa's gifts? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, These are all Santa gifts. No, I counted these before Christmas. It's the same number. Where are the gifts from Santa? I'm like, fuck. You know, why do parents do this to themselves? Why?
I'm sorry, honey. There was a terrible accident.
And this was a year she was getting a basketball goal. Like Brian stayed up and put it together, right?
Right.
And I was like distracting her, like, oh, the Santa gift's outside, hoping she's not gonna think one Santa gift, and distracted her and like, picked her up and showed her outside, and she was like, oh, and I was like, okay, good. Distraction. That I fucked up.
But you recovered well. That's what parenting is. 95% of parenting is fucking up and then recovering. And
True. It is.
or some
Trial
of the
and
bad
error.
parents just fuck up and don't bother trying to recover. They just
Right. They're like, whatever. They're like,
whatever.
I'll take all these
You'll grow
presents
out of
back and go get my nails done.
That's all we have for you this time.
We want to hear your stories, especially those of you who have siblings you've discovered later in life, like us.
Send email to Lynelle and Rob at gmail.com. That email address will appear in the podcast episode's description, and we'll read all your emails over the air.